Turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Carter, here is your reminder. Forza Horizon 6.
No. No. Oh, just better not. I'm gonna be here for a bit.
Carter, here is your reminder. Forza Horizon 6.
Guys wanna watch YouTube shorts? Yo. No, I'm waiting, baby. No. While I wait, guys.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, today I've got for you 3 hours or so of some of the very...
My gold digger Emil called my engagement ring cheap, so I canceled the wedding on Facebook. The first time I met my girlfriend Annalyn's mother, she looked at my Honda Civic and said, "I thought you told me he was wealthy. That car's a piece of trash." I actually owned 3 cars, including a Tesla, but I'd driven the Honda for comfort on the 4-hour trip. I didn't correct her. Throughout dinner, JD kept making digs. "Well, looks aren't your strong point, so thank God you have money." Annalyn apologized afterward, mortified. Every visit, JD would mention how my money was the only reason Annalyn's with you. Once I snapped, "I could burn every dollar tomorrow and she'd still love me." JD went quiet after that. For months, she was pleasant. I thought she'd finally accepted that I genuinely loved her daughter. Last month, I proposed to Annalyn in Switzerland. Sunset over the Alps, the exact ring she'd described wanting. A simple solitaire, classic, elegant. She cried, said yes. When we got home, Annalyn wanted to show her parents immediately. I dropped her off at JD's house. 2 hours later, my phone exploded. JD had posted on Facebook, "So disappointed in my future son-in-law. The ring he gave Annalyn is worth less than my purse. The diamond looks like a pebble from a parking lot. This cheap man has millions, but won't spend on my daughter. 3 years together, never bought her a car, never bought US a car, which real men do, and now this pathetic ring. If he doesn't buy a real ring immediately, there will be no wedding." She'd posted photos comparing Annalyn's ring to hers, with with arrows pointing out how tiny mine was. The comments were brutal, calling me stingy, saying Annalyn deserved better. We hadn't even announced our engagement yet. I called Annalyn immediately. Did you see what your mom posted? Yeah, she sighed. I mean, she's not completely wrong. The ring is pretty small. My stomach dropped. You said you wanted simple, classic, not flashy. That was kind of a test. I wanted to see if you'd go bigger anyway. Show you'd spoil me without being asked. Now I can't even brag to my friends. Sarah's ring is 3 carats. You're disappointed? Mom says you can afford a $100,000 ring easily. This one's what? 5,000? 8,000. And it's exactly what you described. I shouldn't have had to describe it. I hung up. The woman I loved was letting her mother turn her into someone I didn't recognize. Or maybe revealing who she'd always been. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. JD calling, Annalyn calling, texts from Annalyn's friends. JD's post had over 200 comments trashing me. So I made my own post. Regarding JD Henderson's comments, she's right. The ring was a mistake. The proposal was a mistake. The wedding is off. I wish Annalyn the best in finding someone who meets her mother's financial requirements. JD called 15 times before I answered. Please, I didn't mean it. I was just emotional. You've insulted me since day one. It was always about money. Annalyn grabbed the phone, sobbing. Please don't do this. I love you. The ring is perfect. Funny how it became perfect after I canceled the wedding. Mom got in my head. Please. Your mother admitted the truth. You deserve someone who can give you the lifestyle you want. I deserve someone who loves me for more than my bank account. JD again. She deserves that lifestyle. You can't take it away. You're right. She deserves everything. But I deserve someone who'd love me even if I had nothing. Goodbye. I hung up and blocked them both. An hour later, my friend texted, check JD's Facebook. She'd posted a video, Annalyn in tears, showing the ring, saying it was actually beautiful. JD in the background. Tell them about the prenup. My blood went cold. There was no prenup. I'd never mentioned one. Then Annalyn said, he wanted me to sign away rights to his family's company, the one worth $50 million. I don't have a family company. I'm a software engineer with smart investments. $50 million? I have maybe $2 million. The next morning, pounding on my door, Annalyn stood there with 2 police officers. He's inside, she called out. I opened the door. Officers, what's going on? Mr. Acosta, we need to ask about your identity, the first officer said. Annalyn pushed forward. Stop lying. JD hired a private investigator. We know everything. The second officer pulled out a photo. Sir, can you explain why someone matching your description was reported dead in Seattle 15 years ago? I stared at the photo. It was me, younger. But the name read Alfie Kim. Death certificate dated 2009. That's impossible. I'm Michael Acosta. I've always been Michael Acosta. Annalyn laughed bitterly. Check his left shoulder. Alfie Kim had a birthmark there. The officers stepped forward. Sir, we need you to come with us. This is insane. I'm not Alfie Kim. But as I said it, I touched my left shoulder unconsciously. The birthmark I'd had removed 5 years ago. The one I'd told Annalyn was from a childhood accident. JD appeared from behind the police car with a folder. $50 million. That's what Alfie Kim inherited before he died. That's what you've been hiding. My mouth went dry. Fragments were coming back. A plane crash. A hospital in Seattle. A man in a suit saying, your only chance is to forget Alfie Kim ever existed. Annalyn stepped closer. So who are you really? My fiancé Michael? Or the dead millionaire Alfie? I looked at the officers, at JD's smug face, at Annalyn's tears. Then I saw him, across the street, the man in the suit from 15 years ago, watching from a black car. He shook his head slowly and mouthed one word, run. I stare at Hudson across the street as he mouths, run, and every instinct screams at me to bolt, but my feet won't move. The police officers step closer, asking me to come downtown for questioning about the Alfie Kim death certificate. I realize running would make me look guilty of something I don't even understand yet. The first officer gestures toward the patrol car, his hand resting near his belt. Annalyn stands behind them, arms crossed, waiting for me to crack. JD watches from the sidewalk, that folder still clutched in her hands. I take a breath and nod. I'll go with them. I'll answer their questions. I pull out my phone and dial Scott before they can stop me. He picks up on the second ring and I tell him I need help immediately. He asks what's wrong and I say the police are taking me in for questioning about something crazy. He says he'll be there as fast as he can. The officers lead me to their car and Annalyn tries to follow, but they tell her she needs to wait at the station. She protests, saying she has a right to hear what I say, but they ignore her. JD climbs into her own car, probably already planning her next social media post. The drive downtown feels endless. I sit in the back, hands sweating, trying to make sense of Hudson's warning. Why would he tell me to run if I'm innocent? What does he know that I don't? The officers don't talk to me, just exchange quiet comments about traffic. We pull up to the station, and they walk me inside through a side entrance. The building smells like coffee and floor cleaner. They take me to a small room with a metal table and 4 chairs. One officer tells me to sit and wait. Drew Peterson walks in 15 minutes later carrying a folder and a cup of coffee. He's older than the other officers, maybe 50, with gray hair and tired eyes. He introduces himself as the lead detective and sits across from me. He asks basic questions about my background, where I'm from, how long I've lived in the city. His tone is curious, not angry. I answer everything honestly. I was born in Portland, moved here 6 years ago for work, been a software engineer for 8 years. He writes notes on a yellow pad. Scott arrives within 30 minutes, slightly out of breath, and a lawyer follows him in. The lawyer's name is Madison Wolfe, and she shakes my hand firmly before sitting beside me. She asks Drew what I'm being questioned about, and he shows her the death certificate photo. She examines it carefully, then looks at me. I provide my birth certificate from my wallet, my social security card, my employee ID from work. Drew spreads them across the table, comparing each document to the Alfie Kim death certificate. He admits they all appear legitimate. The Alfie Kim certificate shows someone who looks similar to me, but with different identifying details. Different social security number, different birth date by 3 months. Drew taps the photo with his pen. He says the resemblance is remarkable, but that's not a crime. Annalyn and JD wait in another room down the hall, and I can hear JD's voice rising as she demands the police arrest me for fraud. Her shouts echo through the thin walls. Drew excuses himself and walks out. I hear him telling them to calm down in the hallway. He explains that having a look-alike isn't illegal. JD insists they check my shoulder for the birthmark. Drew returns and asks if I'd be willing to show my shoulder. Madison nods that it's okay. I pull my shirt aside. The skin is smooth, unmarked. Drew makes a note. I explain the birthmark Annalyn mentioned was removed 5 years ago during a routine skin cancer screening, which I can prove with medical records from my dermatologist. Drew asks for the doctor's name and number. I give him my phone to find the contact. He steps out again to make a call. Madison leans close and whispers that I'm doing fine. Just keep answering truthfully. Scott sits in the corner, watching everything with worried eyes. Drew comes back 20 minutes later and says my dermatologist confirmed the procedure and the date. He closes his folder. After 3 hours of questioning, Drew says I'm free to go but asks me not to leave town while they investigate. He hands me his card and says to call if I remember anything unusual. Madison shakes his hand and thanks him for being professional. Scott drives me home in his truck, and I notice Hudson's black car is gone from across the street. The spot where he parked sits empty. I feel exhausted and confused about why JD would make up such a big lie about a $50 million inheritance. Scott walks me to my door and asks if I want him to stay. I tell him I'm okay, just need to sleep. He hugs me and says to call if I need anything. I lock the door behind me and collapse on my couch. That night, I can't sleep and start searching online for information about Alfie Kim and the 2009 plane crash. I type his name into Google and find news articles about a small private plane that went down near Seattle, killing 3 passengers. One victim was listed as Alfie Kim, age 23, heir to a tech company fortune. The article includes a grainy photo of Alfie Kim that makes my blood run cold because the resemblance is scary. We have the same face shape, similar build, even the same small scar above our left eyebrow. I touch my scar without thinking, remembering the childhood bike accident that caused it. But doubt creeps in. Did I really get this scar from a bike accident? The memory feels fuzzy around the edges. I click through more articles, reading about Kim Tech Solutions and the family's wealth. Alfie Kim was supposed to inherit everything after his father died. Bits of memories flash through my mind that don't quite fit my life story. A hospital room with beeping machines, a man in a suit telling me everything would be okay, the smell of jet fuel and burning metal. I shake my head, telling myself these are just false memories triggered by stress and JD's lies. My brain is playing tricks on me because of everything that happened today. The next morning, Scott comes over with coffee and breakfast from the diner down the street. He insists I eat something, setting a bag of food on my counter. He asks if I've ever had gaps in my memory or strange periods I can't explain. I think about it while chewing a bite of eggs. I tell him about a 6-month period 15 years ago when I was supposedly recovering from a serious car accident, but the details feel fuzzy. I remember being told about the accident, remember the hospital stay, but I can't actually picture the crash itself. Scott's face gets serious. He asks what I remember from before the accident. I describe my childhood in Portland, my parents, my school, but as I talk, I realize how vague it all sounds, like I'm describing a story someone told me instead of my own life. I dig through old boxes in my closet looking for papers from that time. Scott helps me pull down boxes from the top shelf. I find my medical records in a manila envelope and spread them across my bed. There's a discharge summary from a hospital in Portland, but no admission records or details about the actual accident. Just a single page saying I was released after treatment for injuries. Scott points out that's strange for someone who supposedly spent weeks recovering. Where are the x-rays, the doctor's notes, the insurance claims? I search through every box, but find nothing else. My hands start shaking as I realize my entire documented history is full of holes. I pull my phone out, and the screen lights up with notification after notification, dozens flooding in every second. Messages from numbers I don't recognize, friend requests from strangers, comments on posts I haven't even made. My hands shake as I scroll through them. JD posted something new on Facebook, and it's spreading fast. The post shows the photo of Alfie Kim's death certificate next to a current picture of me, with arrows pointing out similarities. Her caption reads, "Exposed. Con artist Michael Acosta is actually dead millionaire Alfie Kim, who faked his death to steal inheritance. Police investigating now." The comments section explodes with anger from people I've never met. Someone writes that I should be locked up immediately. Another person calls me a disgusting fraud who deserves everything coming to me. A woman shares the post to 3 different groups, adding her own commentary about how people like me make her sick. I keep scrolling and find worse things. Strangers discussing where I live and work. Someone posting my address with a note saying, "This is where the fraud lives." My stomach turns as I realize hundreds of people now think they know the truth about me, and they're all convinced I'm a criminal. Scott walks over and puts his hand on my shoulder, asking if I'm okay. I can't even answer because another wave of messages hits my phone. Someone created a hashtag about me. People are sharing JD's post everywhere. A news blog picked it up already, running a headline about the mysterious case of the dead heir who came back to life. I look up from my phone and glance out the window, needing a break from the screen. That's when I see it. The black car is back, parked in the exact same spot across the street where it was yesterday. Hudson sits behind the wheel, watching my building. Scott notices me staring and asks what I'm looking at. I point toward the car without saying anything. Scott squints through the window and asks who that is. Before I can explain, Hudson opens his car door and steps out onto the sidewalk. He looks directly at my window, making eye contact with me even from this distance. Then he starts walking toward my building entrance. My heart pounds as I watch him cross the street. Scott asks again who that man is, his voice more urgent now. I tell him it's the guy from yesterday, the one who told me to run. Scott's eyes go wide and he asks if we should call the police. I shake my head because I don't know what to think anymore. The police already questioned me. JD already exposed everything online. What would calling them even accomplish? Heavy footsteps echo in the hallway outside my apartment, getting closer. Scott moves toward the door, positioning himself between it and me like he's ready to protect me if needed. 3 sharp knocks break the silence. I walk to the door on shaky legs and look through the peephole. Hudson stands there in a dark suit, holding a leather wallet in his hand. I open the door slowly. Hudson holds up the wallet and flips it.
It is go time, boys. Oh, I finally have it. Oh, I've been waiting so long. Huh? Okay, guys. Do I really need to update my driver? Oh, where am I in the game right now? Oh, no. I'm in gang. Oh, this is tough. think I remember that from more than oh, I don't know. I can hear the water cooling on my PC. Okay. I'm gonna have to end the stream here, unfortunately. But I'm gonna come back and stream tomorrow night, and we're gonna play the game. So,
Hey, I know you won't hear this until you land. But you are going to love it here. I have so much to show you. There's just not enough hours in the day. And guess what? Jordan will be here anyway. I've been busy getting everything ready. I've got the sofa to crash on for a while. I got the garage all set. Oh, he's here. Gotta go.
Everything May said is true. You would not believe this place. I'll see you very soon. Okay.
There's a huge event this weekend. Legends from all over making their way to the festival. It's gonna be on another level. I hope you're here in time. Let me know when you get this.
What up, people? It's Scotty Tyler on Base Arena, and it is
Fortunately.
the start of a brand new day here at Horizon Japan. So if you're listening in your car or you're kicking back on the bullet train, well, enjoy your day.
All I can do for today. If you enjoyed, I'm so mad. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.